Although there have been agitations in some quarters for Edo State to conduct local government elections, not many saw it coming this way when Governor Godwin Obaseki some days ago sent an amendment bill to the State House of Assembly for a review of the Edo State local government electoral law. This process of democratizing the third tier of government is coming a little over a year after the tenure of the elected local government chairman and councillors ended on March 4th, 2021. The State House of Assembly passed the request for the amendment of the law, whose focus for review was the number of days the State Electoral Commission has to carry out the exercise once inaugurated, that was reduced from 45 days to 15. This position and the constitution of the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission has drawn the eye of critics who allege that the process was a plan by Obaseki to continue to hold and control the third tier of government and from the back door hold majority of the delegates for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) ahead of its coming primary elections, having not been able to properly integrate members of the party who came with him from the All Progressive Congress (APC) into PDP. For instance, the chairman, Coalition of Registered Political Parties (CRPP), Samson Isibo, raised eyebrows on the membership of the commission headed by Justice James Oyomire retired, as he alleged that himself and other members of the commission are going to do the bidding of the governor and would deliberately scheme out all those who may be interested in the exercise, except those Obaseki wants. He also complained that the 15 days was too short and it would shut them out. The All Progressive Congress, which initially said it was not going to participate in the election, reversed itself through its state publicity secretary, Barrister Peter Uwadia Igbinige, barely 24 hours after he threatened to boycott the exercise. Addressing a press conference at the end of a meeting at the state secretariat of the party in Benin City, he said that APC is fully prepared and will participate in the elections as directed by the national leadership of the party. This development has thrown up some issues which include: is the action of the government so far legal? Have the people been asking for local government elections? And are they ready to be part of the process to bring a democratic process here? However, some of Obaseki's supporters believe that the elections into local governments were long overdue and the action has not in any way contradicted the laws of the land. The Supreme Court had since decided that what governs local government elections is the state local government law. So what has the governor done wrong? A very senior government official queried. According to him, the same law has been amended several times by previous administrations and it can still be amended at any time by the House of Assembly, which has the power to do so. He went on, people have been clamoring that we should conduct local government elections. What is now the problem? The law is the law, and we are only bound by what the law says should be done. Moreover, as the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission said that they cannot do the elections within the time frame, why would they say the time is short when they know that the tenure of the councils expired last year? And the law even says the process of fresh elections ought to have started 3 months before their expiration of the tenure. So government is even late, if you ask me. Supporters of the governor also believe that whatever criticism the opponents, who include members of the PDP, may have is not enough to discredit the process, arguing that the local government elections are to open the democratic space for more people to be involved in governance, which they say is the basis for democracy. One of them added, there are 192 wards and 18 local government areas in the state, and this means you have chairman, vice chairman, secretaries, elected councillors, supervisory councillors, and other political appointees that will be attached to some of these people. That is a big plus for the process of deepening democracy in the state. Meanwhile, the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission had initially fixed April 19, 2022 for the elections before it was stopped by a court in Abuja. Interested people, particularly the PDP, have started jostling and negotiating to have the ears of the leaders so that they can be picked for the available positions. Some of the immediate past chairmen are already lobbying to be returned for a second term, but investigations show that only a few of them would be able to return. In Edo South, which is made up of 7 local government areas, only one of the former chairmen is sure of a return ticket as leaders of his area and wards have unanimously adopted him as a consensus candidate. Another who tried to lobby for return in the house of a leader a few days ago was rebuffed because he was said to have lost his polling unit and ward during the 2020 governorship election in the state. There are fears that the crisis of the inability of the PDP to harmonize may rear its head as it was gathered that in a local government in Edo North, that a faction of the PDP, who were members of the APC, have been meeting to pick their choice candidates, while another faction, who are old members of the party, have also been meeting to pick their candidates. And if that is not stopped, the party could present 2 categories of candidates in the area. But this fear was allayed, as it is the responsibility of the state chairman of the party to present candidates for elections to the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission. And so far, the state chairman of the party, Honorable Tony Azegbemi, has been on the side of Obaseki. Supporters of the governors and those of the old members of the PDP, led by the chairman, South of the party, Chief Dan Orbih, are also seeing the local government election as a supremacy war, especially after the Abuja court verdict against any move to dissolve the party executives from the ward to the state level to give room for harmonization. It is highly suspected that Obaseki wanted to cash in on the elections to get statutory delegates to the presidential primary election of the PDP, which is slated for May, and even for other parties who may win elections in some of the local government areas. Political parties will soon begin their presidential primaries, so the governor has access to the statutory delegates because the council chairman, vice chairman, and secretaries are statutory delegates. And that is the same scenario for other political parties because if, for instance, APC wins any local government, the chairman and others will also participate in the primary election of the party. Meanwhile, while inaugurating the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission, Obaseki charged the members to be neutral in the conduct of the council polls, saying they should ensure that the electoral process was free, fair, and transparent. Later that day, the commission released the timetable for elections into the 18 local government areas of the state. The notice of elections signed by the commission secretary, Peter O. Ojo, said the electoral body would meet with political parties. Edo State Independent Electoral Commission said the conduct of the party primaries will be between March 30th and April 6th, 2022, while the publication of notice of polls at the World Coalition Centers would be on April 11th, 2022. 7th of April to 12th of April 2022 is for collection and submission of forms by political parties and submission of list of party agents. An electioneering campaign will commence on the 12th of April 2022. Aspirants will be screened between 13th and 14th of April 2022, while names of candidates will be displayed on the 15th of April 2022. According to the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission, submission of names of changed and substituted candidates and screening of substituted candidates is scheduled for the 16th of April 2022 and 17th of April 2022 will be for the final publication of listed validated candidates, while electioneering campaign will end on the 18th of April 2022. But on Friday evening, the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission announced the suspension of the conduct of the local government elections. A statement signed by Emmanuel Abebe on behalf of the chairman of the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission said the suspension of the local council elections was due to the restraining order by the Federal High Court Abuja on the Edo State Independent Electoral Commission. The statement said all processes leading to the conduct of the election have been suspended pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. Hearing on the issue has been fixed for April 14th and would go a long way in determining the next step to take on the local government election.